Hello everyone, and welcome to the 20th episode of the Warcraft Recon Report. A lot of people have been asking me my thoughts on the recent Polygon interview with Hazzikostas. I'm talking about the one published on Friday, May 22nd, 2015. Basically this, and the May 14th VentureBeat interview were nothing more than cheap commercials for patch 6.2. But with Polygon, Hazzikostas dropped a huge bombshell of information on the public. He said, and I quote, "We're not going to be reintroducing the ability to fly in Draenor, and that's kinda where we're at going forward." Naturally, this caused a massive uproar in trade chat, on the forums, and so on. YouTube sprung to life with tons of videos criticizing this announcement. And I'm about to create another one. So here we go. Without further ado, I'm going to attempt to personally interview Hazzikostas. And hopefully I'll get some straight answers instead of his usual vague nonsense.
Come forward. I am Hazzikostas, the great and powerful. Who are you?
If you please, sir, I'm Brandon Hayes. I'm just a single WoW subscriber.
Silence! If I wanted to hear from subscribers, I'd talk to them directly. Why else do you think I've only been conversing with third-party websites?
Well, that's a big mistake if you ask me. By your own admission, the prevention of flying in Warlords was an enormous change that even you didn't expect to last. Now that Blizzard's made an official decision to prohibit flight in both WoD and future expansions, don't you think that information should come directly from Blizzard Entertainment itself? You just casually mentioned it to Polygon on Friday and then raced out the office to enjoy your extended Memorial Day weekend.
You dare to question my tactics, boy? I am a creator of worlds. Consider yourself lucky that I let you play in them.
Actually, you should consider yourself lucky that you're still in business. After the total failure of Warlords of Draenor, Blizzard's reputation is probably damaged beyond repair. Do you think you can dismiss customer opinions and treat us like crap just because WoW's been the dominant MMORPG for over a decade? Kingdoms rise and fall. Bad business practices and utter complacency are turning you into an agent of your own demise. You're becoming the WoW killer we all once feared.
You clinking, clanking, clattering collection of collisionist casuals? You know nothing of game development. You want everything handed to you because you're babies. Good games are complex, and flight ruins gameplay.
For the record, I've said plenty of shit I regret in my lifetime. For example, I once said Warlords was destined to be the best expansion ever. That was incredibly naive of me. But I was always content with flight being restricted in Draenor once I experienced the world firsthand. Completing quests, hunting rares, gathering treasures. There's a lot of gameplay that flying would have broken or made obsolete, but Warlords isn't new anymore. I have characters now that have completed every quest in every zone. I've collected nearly all the world's treasures on my main, despite the fact that my garrison resources are capped and most treasures only reward resources. When players have exhausted all the content a map has to offer, there's no good reason to keep them grounded anymore. Right now, granting flight to players would get them out of their garrisons, and that's something WoD desperately needs.
World of Warcraft is our game, and the customer isn't always right.
That's totally true, but in this instance, I don't see why you insist on being so goddamn stubborn. This goes back to that pig-headed notion that you're too big to fail. That simply isn't true. People play Warcraft for entertainment. If the entertainment you provide is subpar or making them angry, they'll leave. You have the ability to physically monitor that exodus. And if you think for 1 second that those same people will return for future patches and expansions, you're dead wrong. You're going to see diminishing returns every step of the way. Keeping flight restricted in current content like Tanan, that's perfectly reasonable. Block off the whole jungle with invisible walls, keep your precious immersion intact. But open up flying everywhere else. Give players something to do, because they sure as shit don't have actual content to occupy their time with. And by the way, I'm onto your little scam with that whole immersion argument. You never once cared about making the world a more interesting or dangerous place. You wanted to keep people grounded because you were hoping they'd get used to it. The mainland Warlords map only launched with Tanan Jungle unfinished, but future expansions might be worse. You want the option to launch expansions quicker, without facilitating a need to complete every map on opening day. The choice was to either keep players grounded, or utterly destroy the sky with a million different invisible walls.
Quiet. Your wild accusations and conspiracy theories are baseless and reactionary.
Well, when you treat us like shit and barely talk to us, all we can do is make assumptions. If you're so anti-flight, create some gameplay that discourages it. Add more escort quests to the game. Put quest objectives inside caves and other mount-restrictive areas. Make an entire map a giant castle like fucking Castlevania. There are plenty of creative ways to keep players grounded. But again, I'm only asking for you to allow flight in older Draenor maps. For your own good. It would help to win some favor with the player base, which is something you haven't had for months. Do you remember what it feels like to be praised as a leader in the industry? Don't you want that feeling again? Make a good decision in this expansion for once.
Not so fast, not so fast. I'll have to give this matter a little thought. Go away and come back tomorrow.
Tomorrow? But I want things fixed now. You've had plenty of time already.
Do not arouse the wrath of the great and powerful Hazzikostas. I said come back tomorrow and bring money. Lots of money.
Well, I guess that's the end of my interview. I didn't even get to ask him about the potential future content. In the Polygon interview, he was asked if patch 6.2 would be the last big update for Warlords. All Hazzikostas said was, and I quote, "We've got plenty of more story to be told after this." What exactly does that mean? He couldn't have said it any more cryptically. He knows for a fact if patch 6.3 is currently in development or not, but he couldn't give a definitive answer. There's more story to be told. What a load of horse shit. Do you know how Mists of Pandaria ended? With more story to be told about Garrosh Hellscream, and that story was told in Warlords of Draenor. Anyway, I shed light on nothing today. It appears I wasted everyone's time. I apologize. But these interviews never seem to work out as planned. Thanks for watching, regardless. I'll see you later.